Ladies and gentlemen, you see the video, you see the topic, you see the title. First, quick plug, quick plug, quick plug, quick plug. You see it. You want to interact with me. You know where to find me. I'm Mate. I cover video games and the NBA, and Destiny 2 is coming to an end, and they're not happy about it. Marathon and Destiny community have been at each other's necks. It is pretty much a civil war over Bungie, over who should have resources allocated towards their game, and it's really gotten ugly. It's really gotten nasty, and it all came to a head on the 21st. Destiny dropped the big bomb, the big news. Sadness, very sad sadness, very upsetting sadness going on. Nobody liked that shit. I'm not gonna go through the whole post, but Paul sums it up. Destiny 2 is ending. All expansions canceled. No more content updates after this last one. It's over. That will be June 20 joining June 29th. June 9th, 2026. And we had someone respond to Paul saying that, and he quotes it. That's what you get for hating on Marathon so much. Paul says the fury that's about to come down on Marathon, which has been underperforming Destiny 2 in its worst content drought in history. And yeah, it's not looking good. It's actually looking pretty pretty okay. We're not even gonna look at that. We're not it's not looking good. Okay. Um but things have gotten nasty. It's gotten ugly. And that Destiny 2 community, they're upset, and they're rightfully upset. They've been led astray, run amok, bamboozled, all of the things that Stephen A. Smith would say, right? Here's just some of the things that the Destiny 2 community is feeling, and I understand. Bungie, any last words? Destiny 2, how's your sister? D2 players had a single live service title that lasted 9 years with regular updates that had actual content. One of the most fortunate player bases in gaming for nearly a decade, and they're all Seth Roth posting now that it's over. And yeah, they're not happy, man. They're looking to like body slam, choke slam, chair shot, shoot literally any marathon developers, players, fans, to the point that even the marathon voice director came out, and he should not have come out. You should definitely, you got to stay in the back. You work on the voices, bro. He's also the voice editor. He's also the voice of the assassin in marathon, right? So bad luck, bro. You're already invested in Marathon. They're not trying to hear or see shit from anybody Marathon related. It is about D2 right now, and they're very upset. There's just nothing else that can really be said to them to calm them. And the director goes on to say, "Speak with your wallet is cool, but rooting for it to fail is sad more than anything." They made a whole article about it. Um, Marathon voice actor Elias Tofexis responds to online hate around Bungie's shooter, saying players can criticize the game without rooting for it to fail. No, they want it to fail. They want it to fail. They want it to do bad, and their wishes are coming true. Destiny fans might not want to hear it, but if you really want to see Bungie get a green light for Destiny 3, you should maybe support Marathon as opposed to shitting on it and review bombing it. Bungie's goal right now has to be getting money and giving that money to Sony. And the only way that they're going to do that is by having a successful IP. Destiny fans are like, yeah, our successful IP. And Marathon's fans are like, no, your time is up. Our IP is not successful, but there's a path for success. Is that copium? I think there's copium on both sides, but somebody has to be right, or maybe both of them are wrong. Maybe both their IPs are just cooked. I'm a fan of both, so I just want to see Bungie do something. If their shit fails, so be it. Move on to the next game, but that's not how everyone else feels. They're deeply invested, deeply rooted, and we have this post, but we have Legendary Drops quoted. He says, "You might not want to hear it, but you need to commit time and money to support a game you didn't want to play for a slim chance you get what you want in the future." Now, the original post says, "Support, you don't have to support by committing time or money. You can support just by simply not engaging in hate." But this is peak delusion, and Paul Tassi kind of has like an opposing thought process to this, and I kind of agree. I, I I I agree with the feelings here. I agree with the actual thought process here. The reality is now more than ever, people should want Marathon to win. If it can thrive, it can expand in interesting ways. Blah. It can give Bungie runway and leeway with Sony for future projects. Exactly. Future projects, including Destiny. When you were supporting Destiny, they wanted to make something else. Probably because Destiny either was one not sustainable for the longest of terms in terms of making the money that they wanted, and they're like, okay, we need other things before we can make actually Destiny 3. The idea that Destiny 3 doesn't exist or won't exist, I don't think that's real. I think Destiny 3 will definitely exist at some point, probably 5 plus years from now. But I think it can be a successful game. I don't think it can be a successful game right now because Bungie doesn't have the necessary funds, or Sony is not about to throw the necessary funds behind such a mega game, massive title. The expectations will be through the roof, and if they don't meet expectations from both fans and investors, it'll just be definitely the end of the Destiny series, and it'll end on an even probably more sour note than it has at the moment. And when things just couldn't get better, Bungie is committed to investing more into Marathon as a staple moving forward, hoping to expand its player base over time. They're finally going to cave in and do the PVE right. That's something that they should have listened to off rip, like in beta, when Datto was like, "I'm not going to play this. Which I got is, I think he was like, which I got is cool or whatever, but this ain't for me." And at that moment, he should have listened. He should have listened. They should have listened. Whoever they were talking to, whoever Datto was telling this to, they should have fucking listened. This is from Jason Schreier from Bloomberg. You have the Bloomberg article here. Bungie plans layoffs after ending Destiny 2 development. I'm not gonna go all deep into it, but quick paragraph here and there. Sony Group Corporations, Sony Group Corporation, Bungie. Oh, their Bungie unit is planning a significant number of layoffs at the end of development on the long running online shooter game Destiny 2. According to people familiar with studio plans, the company doesn't have a new project lined up for Destiny 2 development team after the game comes to an end at the end of the month, according to the people who asked to not be identified. Bungie doesn't plan to identify. Bungie doesn't plan to immediately enter production on a Destiny 3. They said the number of jobs cut was unknown. So the jobs are already cut and people just don't know that they're fired yet, which is very unfortunate. It has to be a very scary time to just be patiently waiting around to find out if you're fired. And it be like that. It actually do be like that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the players losing the game, the content creators losing their revenue, and all of the developers that will essentially be losing their jobs. What we have here, we have Divide. He posted the sign the petition for Destiny 3. This petition isn't for Bungie. This petition is for Sony. They're going full Karens, full I want to talk to the manager, and I understand like you niggas aren't handling what needs to be handled, so we want to talk to the boss. But or have someone that's calling them out for kind of larping, being a slop tuber. acting as if you didn't help put us in this fucking situation. Slop tubers and negativity like this is actually just miserable and hurts everyone. Um, there's two sides to this, because one, if Destiny was putting out good content, it would be more of this at the bottom, more of, well, actually, this is Bungie lied, but it'd probably be more stuff about the builds, right? Build shit, right? Here you have a lot of negativity here, and this is a lot of what pushed me away from playing Destiny 2. I saw the downsizing. They're going from the big expansions to episodes, and we're getting less and less feedback, or hearing less and less from Bungie about the feedback, about the things that players want, things they're expecting, waiting for, etc. So all of that, along with content creators putting out negative content, they have nothing positive to say about the game. This is part of the problem that Marathon's facing. Nobody's trying to hear about Marathon right now. I get it, but um, pushing out negative content is going to push players away. And word of mouth goes both ways. It can spread positive and negative news. And some of this, just overall, is definitely something that impacted Destiny. Is not the end all be all of what actually was the end of Destiny, but once content creators got to the point where they had nothing positive to talk about, they just had to talk about how the game is failing, because that's how they make their money, by making videos about the game, and that's what was just working for them at the time. And ultimately, I think this is kind of where I want to end the video, talking about what's next for Destiny 3. I would like to see what's next for Destiny, the series. I would like to see a Destiny 3. I would like to see a Destiny 3 that involves all of the old heads, all the OGs, all of the people that worked on the original art concept. They were there when the game originally launched, Destiny 1 and or 2. Um, I don't want another game in the Destiny universe unless it's Bungie at the helm, period. I'd rather Destiny stay dead forever than let some other studio touch it, to be honest. There's that side, and then there's this. The funniest part about this is, if the Bungie did release Destiny 3, it would suck because the people who made Destiny are no longer there. Exactly, the OGs, the old heads. We would need them to be deeply involved, uh at least on in the creative market, not in the uh there are certain parts of the fucking game that I want them to touch, and there are certain parts I want them to stay the fuck away from, because obviously someone somewhere mismanaged something, and that's why we are where we are, obviously. But long story short, the best thing probably would be to remaster Destiny 1. Sadly enough, Sony got rid of Bluepoint, who did a great job on the Demon Souls and some other games. They had did like some remasters on like old Metal Gear games or some shit, but they recently just got rid of the best team that I know that they had that remade shit. So I don't know who I would even trust to remaster Destiny 1, but that would be awesome if they remaster Destiny 1. I think where their plan currently is, honestly, is just to grow Marathon, invest what they can, expand the player base, expand the genre that the game is covering, because extraction shooter alone isn't going to be enough to get it done. They're probably going to have to go into some Call of Duty lane. They're gonna have to go into some Valorant type lane and have the PvP, and they're definitely gonna have to go into Destiny Strike territory with the PvE. And I think there's a lot of potential, but there's either way, it's going to be historic. It's going to be a historic crash and burn, or it will be a historic rise from the ashes. And it's sad because either way, it didn't have to come to this. It just should have been historic success continued from a historic franchise slash company. But it is what it is. That's the Destiny Marathon video. Quick plug, quick plug, quick plug.